Good evening, Ricardo. Welcome to class.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome. All right, let me get ready. So, before we start our session, I'm letting you know that today we're having our last um, class session. We're reviewing the last class topic, and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we will start um, sparing some time for everybody's presentations.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. Thank you. Well, in case we have never met, I'm Ricardo. Nice to meet you.
You've never been here before, right?
Yeah, I've been doing some. The schedule it was really not good for me, so yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
I
can.
had to make some time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I was taking you for someone else. I thought you were Rodrigo because
Oh,
it
okay.
starts with an R. So I was trying
Yeah.
to, yeah, to compute, but you were not him. So tell me a little about what you do in the company.
I'm a QA automation engineer, so basically I automate manual testing. So there is manual test in the projects, and there is for some projects there is automation. I do the automation part, like write the script. It's basically program, write code about the actual manual test case.
Is it a hard work to do? Is it hard for you?
Yeah, not really. Actually, my presentation is about automation, so
Great.
you're gonna yeah.
I'm willing to learn a lot about that because I it's like you're speaking in a different language to me. So it will be
it's
very entertaining.
it's pretty fun when you get used to it.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Welcome, Tatiana. All
Thank you.
right. Okay. So we're going to start. I'm going to share my screen and we're gonna start with our first activity tonight. We're going to review a class topic and then we're going to talk about how to close our presentations as part of the last um, topic that we are covering in Unit 2 in the English Business English program. Okay, so remember that Unit 2 is about giving presentations. So we're going to learn some vocabulary that we can use and some techniques to apply on at the moment we say goodbye to our audience when we're giving presentations. So let's get started with the first one. So we're going to take a look at the pictures here. And we have someone who's in France and he wants to travel to Lyon. He wants to go from Paris. And we have some means of transportation. What are the means of transportation that you see on the picture? In the picture, sorry.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Sure. What are some means or the means of transportation that you see in the picture?
Oh, train, bus, and airplane.
Very good. Okay, so what are the differences that we can see in the picture regarding the means of transportation there?
And time and cost.
Okay, Very good. Which is the fastest? Can you tell me?
On the plane.
The plane. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it the fastest?
Because it avoids like all the traffic, and is I believe it's more fast. The train goes a little bit faster, but since the train has to do stops,
Okay.
so yeah, the plane just like goes from to a city to another, so
Exactly.
that's why it's more faster.
All right. Very good. Very good.
And
And
based on the, sorry.
sure. No,
And
go
based
ahead.
on in the image, you can see that the journey time, it mentioned that the plane takes around 1 hour and 15 minutes,
Mhm.
and the train take less, 2 hours, and the bus more. And so it's take around 5 hours and 15 minutes.
All right. Very good observation. Which is the cheapest one?
Yeah. Well, the bus,
The bus. Okay. How much is it?
it's $28.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's great, right? $20 for a bus from one city to another, considering it's in France. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I'll take the train, to be honest. It's like just like 45 minutes difference between the train and the plane, and
Okay.
it's like $15
Okay.
cheaper. So yeah, I take the train.
All right. It's somewhere in between, right? So it's not so slow, similar to traveling by plane, and it's a lot uh, less expensive than the other one. Okay. Very good. All right. So why am I asking you this question? Random question. Because we're going to review comparatives and superlatives when we are comparing two products and when we are talking about many products with similar characteristics and we want to focus on only one, right? So we're going to, I'm pretty sure, well, I'm sure that you know these words already, but today we're going to practice how to identify when it is okay to say, for example, faster and the fastest, when it is okay to say slower and the slowest, or when it is okay to say more, like in more expensive, okay? So we're going to learn how to identify it and we're going to put it into practice. Okay, so take a look at the question here. Which is cheaper? Can you guys tell me?
Well, champagne.
Okay, how much is it?
It's like well, with these prices going up, I think it's like maybe 50 cents.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what's the cheapest its cost in supermarkets?
Like 35 cents.
Exactly. I remember one time I saw this can of soda was like 25 cents. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's really cheap.
What about lemonade? If you go to a restaurant, how much is lemonade?
It can go, it's like more than $1.
Okay. All right. So compared to this can of soda, it is more
Yeah.
expensive. So we will say the can of soda is cheaper, right?
Cheaper.
Exactly. Okay. Which is healthier? What two products do we have over here?
Avena and milk.
Very good. So the first one, we're gonna call it oatmeal. You see, I just sent you a message and we're gonna call it oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
So what have you heard or what do you know? Is either of these two healthier than the other or are they the same? What do you think or what do you know?
Well, I don't know too much about the oat milk because I don't take that, but in my meal. And the avena, yes, I think it depends of the brand, but I think I saw some product that, for example, for avena is more like expensive than the oatmeal.
Oh, okay. So what we call avena, we're gonna call oatmeal, and the other one is just milk. You see?
Oh, okay, I confused, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So you are used to consuming oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
oatmeal.
Okay, very good. So, all right, very good, very good. So it depends. You said it depends on the brand, right? Can you repeat
Yeah,
with me? It depends on. It depends on.
it depends on the brand.
Okay, very good. All right. So, all right. I have heard that oatmeal is better and healthier. I'm not sure. I do not consume either or, but we're just gonna go with your opinions. So, what about you, Ricardo? What do you think?
I think it depends a lot of the the amount of you take in during your breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, it is like it is healthier to eat oatmeal
Hmm.
rather than just milk. But if you eat a lot, it's like that's like not really healthy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So both can be beneficial, but there is an appropriate like
yeah,
amount,
exactly.
okay,
Yeah, exactly.
to take in. Very good. Let's see. All right. Which is more interesting to you, Tatiana?
Books.
Books. Okay. Do you have any favorite books?
Well, probably one that is called Brains, that is
Oh,
related with psychology.
okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
But I usually prefer books than TV.
all right. So it seems fake, he says. Okay. So yeah, I remember you said,
Here. But it's in Spanish.
oh, it's okay. So I remember that you said sometime that you were into psychology, right? So I can tell. Let's see. What about which is more delicious? What do you think, Ricardo?
Tacos.
Uh-huh. Why are they more delicious?
Because they're mm, I don't really I am not that into spaghetti and tomato sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the Alfredo sauce. But
Uh-huh.
in these two, I prefer tacos.
All right.
Uh, yeah, I just prefer tacos. Yeah, not like
We
I am
cannot be any more friends, you know?
ah,
Do you prefer
ah.
pasta, Tatiana?
Yes, I love pasta in general, you know, the
Okay.
pasta war is kind of my favorite food.
Oh
And I
my.
usually, yeah,
Hmm.
used to cook those in like with pesto, tomato, whatever.
Well, actually, I could go with both. They are good. Both are good. But
Yeah.
I really prefer eating pasta at a restaurant because if I do it, I feel like it's plain and I don't like it. Like it's not magical. It's not like going to a restaurant if I make it. So let's see. All right. So we have two different teams right here. Taco team and the pasta team. All right. Let's see. We're gonna move on to this one. Which are more expensive from these two?
Mm, and the pupusas are more
Pupusas.
expensive.
Okay.
Pupusas are more expensive. Yeah,
How much can a pupusa get to cost?
more than $1.
Yeah, right. Depending on the place, right?
Yeah, depending
Okay.
on the place and the ingredients.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And which is your favorite, Tatiana?
Um,
Be
I love
careful on your answers.
I love pupusas, but
Hmm.
um, I
But
don't know. Yeah, no, pupusas it's fine.
okay. All right.
Fries, like yes, but I love also like potato, like fries, but like puree. I don't know. Is I can say puree, right?
You can say puree,
puree,
or you can say
yeah,
mashed potato, mashed.
or mashed potato, yeah.
But would you say pupusas
Yeah,
are
pupusas is fine.
number one in your heart?
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let's see. All right, so as you can see, we are comparing two items, two products, whatever you want to compare between two. If you want to make a comparison between two items, we're gonna follow these rules. Let's see. So Ricardo, help me read the one that says, well, we're gonna go down. Let's see. Let's use a different one. This one. Okay, this one is more practical. All right, so we're going to read, this is the instruction, and then we have the comparative form. Okay, so here we go.
So I read the instruction in both columns, right?
Exactly.
Okay. The instruction is words with one syllable. Comparative form is add er, like for example, cheap, cheaper, hard, harder,
Okay.
and the superlative form is by adding est. For example, cheap to cheapest, hard to hardest.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay, so if we have one syllable like cheap, hard, we're going to count syllables by clapping. Okay, so as you can see, we say it in at once, one time, cheap. We don't break the word, so there is only one syllable. And we have to add er if we are comparing two items. And if we're comparing more, like from 5, you want to focus on only one, then we use the superlative. And then we have to say the, and after that, we add est, like you said. And then we have, as a result, the cheapest, the hardest. Okay. Then we have another example. Tatiana, what's the second situation?
Two syllable words ending in y.
Very good.
Yeah, we have comparative form, y, I, e, r. Examples, we have early, earlier, lucky, luckier, lucky, sorry, luckier, and we have superlative form, wide, iest, and example are early, earliest, and lucky, luckiest.
Exactly. Very good. Okay, now we have two syllable ending in y, right? So early, and it ends in y. Lucky, and it ends in y. So we're gonna add IER, and we're going to get rid of the y. And then for the superlative, if I want to focus on one among many, then I say the, and then the earliest and the luckiest. All right. And then we have a third situation. Ricardo, help us with the third one.
Oh, sorry, I was mute.
No problem.
For two or more syllables, use more, like expensive, more expensive, boring, use more boring. And the superlative form is use most. And for example, expensive, use more expensive, and boring, most boring.
Exactly. All right. Now, let me give you a tip here. Two or more syllables, and this is very important, not ending in Y. You see, not ending in Y. So, expensive, 3 syllables. Boring, 2 syllables, and it doesn't end in Y. All right, so that's why we can say more when we are comparing two. And if we want to focus on one among many, among 100, among 3, among 5, then we're going to say the most. You see, most. This is how we make a difference between the word must, which is different, it shows obligation. So we're just gonna say most. Okay. So this is what we need to keep in mind in order to know when to add er when we're comparing, and when to say more, and when we want to focus on one item, when we're supposed to add est, ist, or when we're supposed to say the most. Okay, let's see. So before we read this, let's take a look. Okay, so for example, we have here adjective, welcome to class, Wendy. Then we have the comparative, and here is the superlative. Okay. Okay. Then, for example, I have cheap, cheaper, and what's the superlative? What am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Cheapest.
Okay, so I'm going to say the cheapest. All right, very good, the cheapest. So I have beautiful, more beautiful. What do I say here?
And most beautiful.
Okay, very good. So the most beautiful. Okay, very good. When I say pretty, okay,
It's
two syllables.
prettiest.
Oh, okay. So I say the prettiest, okay. And the comparative form, when I'm comparing two items, what do I say?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. We can skip and then go back to them. Don't worry. Okay. So comparative would be, how many syllables are there? Three.
Uh,
And it ends in Y, right? Pretty. Two syllables.
it's prettier.
There you go. Okay. All right. So, okay. Very good. What about easy? Easy. And it ends in Y.
Easier.
Easier.
Very good. We're gonna say easier. And then for the superlative, we're gonna say
The much easier. Oh, the most
The easiest.
exactly. We're gonna go back to the
easy.
rule. We're gonna
Okay,
go back
okay.
to the rule. Okay. So let's make a pause right here. I'm going to take a screenshot. All right.
I already sent in the
Oh, you sent it. Okay, thank you. All right.
Zoom
So
chat.
thank you so much. Okay, so let's go back. All right. So we know that we need to add er to the comparative form when we want to compare two similar items, and we add er when it's only one syllable, like cheap, and hard. Cheaper, harder. And when it's the superlative, when I have five, let's say, and I want to focus on one, then I say the cheapest and the hardest. Second scenario, when there are two syllables in one word and the word ends in Y, like in this one, early, two syllables and it ends in Y. Then I say earlier when I'm comparing, lucky, luckier when I'm comparing. And if I want to focus on one item out of five, for example, then I say the earliest, the luckiest. And the only situation when I'm going to say more for the comparative form and most for the superlative form is when I have a word with two or more syllables, three syllables or two, and the word doesn't end in Y, you see, in the letter Y. So two or more syllables not ending in Y. All right, so for example, expensive, three syllables. Boring, two syllables, but it doesn't end in Y. So that's why I'm going to say more expensive, more boring. And then when it comes to the superlative one, I'm going to say the most expensive, the most boring. You see, this is how I know when to say more and most. So we're gonna try to put it into practice. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we were going down to big. Big is only one syllable, big. So what do I do here?
Bigger.
Exactly. I'm gonna say bigger for the comparative form. Notice how I doubled the last consonant because I'm respecting the hamburger rule. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay. And let me type down the superlative space here. Superlative, okay. And so when I want to focus on one item out of 1,000, for example, I'm going to say the. Do you remember the
bigger.
restaurant?
The bigger.
Do you remember the?
Biggest.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So we're gonna say the biggest. All right, then we have light. Light is only one syllable.
Lighter.
Lighter.
Exactly. Okay. And then superlative, we're gonna say
The lightest.
exactly the lightest. Very good. Heavy, 2 syllables, and it ends in Y. What do we?
Heavier.
Exactly. And the superlative form would be
The heaviest.
exactly. Very good. Okay. And then I have fast. So comparative,
Faster.
exactly. And the superlative would be
Fastest. The fastest.
exactly the fastest. Very good. Very good job. All right. Now, all right, we have more. Let's see. Slow, comparative, and superlative. So we're gonna go like slow and
Lowest.
Slower.
slower, and then superlative,
The slowest.
Slowest.
slowest. Very good. Okay. New, comparative,
New.
Newer.
Newer.
newer, right? Okay. And superlative,
Newest.
the newest. Very good. Okay. Dry,
Drier.
exactly. Okay. And the superlative would be
Driest. The driest.
very good. Okay, here we go. Let me type it down. Okay, very good. What about happy?
Happier.
Like the song, right? Happier. And then we're gonna say
The happiest.
exactly. Very good. Okay. Then we have old, comparative.
Older.
Okay. Superlative.
And the oldest.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. Then we have the, oh, sorry, nice. We have nice.
Nicer.
Exactly. And superlative.
The nicest.
Exactly. Compact. Compact. Not ending in Y.
I believe it's most.
Oh, most. Okay, let's see. So the most.
The most compact.
There
Yeah.
you go. So the
And
comparative.
that's more compact.
There you go. You are right. Okay, let's type it here. The closest we can get to it. More compact. Okay, great. And what about tasty? Tasty. 2 syllables ending in Y. We're going to say,
Tastier.
there you go. And the superlative would be
The tastiest.
the tastiest. Repeat with me. The
Taste.
tastiest.
The tastiest.
Great job. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I know that when we're speaking, we're not gonna be like, how many syllables, right? We're not gonna do it, but we can take some time later, right? In order to figure it out. Let's see how many we can get so that we don't rely on a dictionary or on the internet in order to know how we can create comparative and superlative adjectives so that we can do it by heart. Okay. All right. So let's see. So which is the most delicious? Can you guys tell me? Which is the most delicious dish? Uh-huh.
For
I guess
me, the most delicious is pizza.
Okay, very good. Why? Why is that?
Not sure, but some years ago, I could say that hamburgers for me it's my most delicious dish. However, with the years,
Okay. Yeah.
my taste has changed, so I think pizza.
Exactly, exactly. So I agree with you. So taste changes over the years. Repeat with me, over the years. See?
Over the years. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You know, the same happens to me, but the other way around. I used to love pizza, and now I try to avoid it because I ate too much of it, like in the past, and I'm sick of it today.
Okay.
I would rather have something else. Tatiana, who is the most famous? What do you think?
Mm.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right. Why would you say he's the most famous?
Why?
Yeah. What?
Uh,
In your
well,
opinion?
for me, because I first saw in the Titanic movie,
Mhm.
so that was my first love.
Oh, he was your first crush? Oh
Yes.
my. He used to be very, very handsome. I agree with you. Let's see.
Already?
He also already handsome, exactly. Ricardo, what's the most exotic fruit in El Salvador?
The is that pitaya?
Oh yeah. This one in English we call it
It's dragon fruit, right?
yeah,
Yes, dragon
right.
fruit. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you know this other one?
I not really, not no, not even in Spanish.
This one's sour stop.
Sour sap.
And this one?
I don't know in English. That's leeches for me.
Oh, they're similar to them, but this
Rambutan. Oh, okay.
rambutan. So yeah, this one is like hairy and lychee. It's
Oh,
not like
lychee.
this.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's the other one. Okay, so what would you say right here?
Dragon fruit is, I believe, is the most
Why?
exotic and expensive fruit in El
Oh,
Salvador.
do
Yeah.
you know how much they are right here?
Mm, I think last time I saw it, it was like
Mhm.
almost $5.
Mm,
Yeah,
It is very expensive.
yeah. That's
Right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see. Wendy, what's the juiciest fruit?
The juiciest. Um, the juiciest fruit is orange.
Good. I would agree with you. Yeah, I have to
I
agree.
can differ on this one because it depends on the fruit.
Okay. So which
Yeah.
it
I mean it could be either orange or watermelon or even mango, but I don't know. It depends a lot of
on the harvest.
yeah, the harvest of the fruit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I haven't been able to eat watermelon or mango because it's too juicy,
Yeah.
but they're all similar. Okay, very good. All right, I need your help for the next exercise. We're gonna do a little speaking right after this. Okay, so let's see. We have 1 and 2 are examples. You all are gonna help me with number 3 to number 8. So in this one, we need to find out if we want to compare or if we want to talk about one among many. So we need to decide on whether we're using a comparative or a superlative. So here we go. Italian is so much.
Easier.
Okay, very good. So we say easier. Can you help me finish? Oh,
Yeah, I would like to add that sometimes it's a common mistake that we used to say it's much easy.
oh,
It's more easy. It's more easy. Sorry, it's more easy.
we can, now that you mentioned that, I'm going to send you a screenshot of this one. Okay.
Okay.
But if we want to emphasize a lot more on what we're saying, like to maximize whatever we're saying about something, we can use number 2, for example. So we can say much, much easier, or we can say a lot easier, we can say a bit easier if we want to minimize it. Okay.
Mhm.
A little easier or slightly easier. We can use these phrases in order to maximize or emphasize on what we're saying about an item. So we can definitely use this, but we will have to use the right form of the comparative or superlative. So
Right.
going back to number 3, we can say
Much easier, or
Mhm.
is a lot
Exactly.
easier. Yeah.
Mhm. A lot easier. We could also say that. Exactly. Very good. What about number 4?
Mhm.
The town square is a lot far than I
Ah,
thought.
okay.
Is farthest?
There you
Farthest? Sorry.
go. Very good. Okay. So you want to use the comparative or the superlative?
Uh,
Are we comparing or are we talking about many? And we want to focus on
well,
one.
I would I'm comparing, I think,
Comparing. Very good.
because
Uh-huh.
so it
Great.
can be with ear.
Okay, we're going back. We're going back to that picture. Very good. So yeah, we're definitely comparing.
Mhm.
Take a look at this. All right. What happens? Let's take a look at number 5. Oh no, that's yeah, number 5 and number 4. Okay. Number 4 says we usually use the before superlative forms. The plane is the fastest. You see, he is the most interesting. No, it was number 5. Sorry, I was
Yeah,
reading.
it's 5.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's further.
There you go. Okay, so we have adjectives that are irregular. We just have to memorize their forms. They don't make sense. There's not a rule I can apply. So I think we're very familiar with these two. So now we're going to focus on this one. Far, further, and farther. Why do we have 2 options? Do you know why we have 2 options, or have you heard something before? Do you recall something? Why is there that there are 2 options in this one?
I really don't know.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
maybe.
That's okay. All right, so further in depth, you see? Okay, this we can use further when we're talking about more information. So further in information, you see? In information. Okay. All right. I can give you further information. I can give you further explanation, a further explanation and something. But farther is for distance. You see? If you're speaking about distance, traveling distance, walking distance, then we're going to use farther, similar to far. So if we're speaking about traveling, we're going to go with farther when we're comparing. But the superlative form is furthest for the 2 of them. Are we okay?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So farther in distance. If you're talking about distance, walking distance, or traveling distance, then that's farther with A. You see? Okay. So we're going back to this one, right? And we were saying, okay, so number 4, Tatiana.
The town square is a lot further than I thought.
You want to say, oh, let me change the color. So you want to say further or you want to say farther? What do you want to say?
With you.
Are we talking about distance here?
Well, yeah, it's distance. You
Yeah.
say the distance and traveling is the
Uh-huh.
second one, right?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, farther.
Exactly. Very good. All right.
Further is for the information in general.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember this phrase, furthermore? Furthermore, you say further. You are explaining or you are elaborating on something deeper that is not distance. So farther for distance. Very good. That's the right answer. Number 5, Ricardo, can you help us? Claire.
Oh,
Oh, we have a kind of.
it's much more.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can find something about.
Oh yeah, more clever. Yeah, it's much more clever.
Hey, good. We say more. Look, with these 2-syllable adjectives, these have 2. We're gonna say more. Or we can also apply the rules that we learned. So we can say,
Clever.
yeah, we can say that.
Okay.
Clever, but it doesn't sound like something you might want to say. So you can say more clever. That's
Yeah,
all right. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay.
more clever. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Great. Okay. So more clever than, let's see.
Her sister Charlotte.
Okay. And we're gonna go to number 6, and that's gonna be the last one. Wendy, can you help us with number 6?
Yes, this is one of the most delicious dishes I've ever eaten.
There you go. Okay, of the most delicious. Oh, I bet you've had many delicious dishes
Yeah.
in your life, right? Okay, very good. All right. So let's talk a little. Let me share the screen. I'm going to send you a picture before I forget of these extra rules. Just take a look at them. So you see these observations are really helpful. And like I told you, it's not like you're going to be looking at the rules when you're speaking. Just take a look at them and try to apply them later on. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let's answer the questions. We're gonna go with Ricardo. Let's see. Can you help us read question number 1?
Yes. Are you happier now than you were a year ago? Should I answer it too?
Yes, please.
Well, what am I? Yeah, maybe. I mean, excuse me. Give me one.
Oh, take your time.
I'm sorry. That was my
Okay.
sister. Well, it depends like on my yeah, for yeah, in some way I'm more happier than a year ago. But yeah. Yes.
So you said some way you're happier. Can you explain a little bit on how somehow you're happier or a bit happier than you were before? Is there something different in your life now that there wasn't
Yeah,
or a
totally.
year ago?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I have new friends. Like that's yeah.
Okay, great. Very good.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Wendy, do you agree with the following? The more expensive, the better quality.
Yeah, I was thinking.
All right.
And I think it depends of of the product of the service.
Uh-huh.
We can share or be agree with this expression or this with these quotes, I think, because for example, if we talk about some brands related to clothes, when you see the price, I think you can be surprised about the price, because it's high, it's too high.
Okay.
So, but if you have, for example, the money and you want to buy it even without caring about the price,
Mhm.
you can realize that you can get some benefits because the product can have a long life. I can say that,
Mhm.
and the quality. For example, when you watch the clothes, you will notice that the colors can be intacted, and you can live with the clothes for many years.
Mhm.
It is your favorite, and you can notice the quality, for example. But
Exactly.
it's not always the case, because nowadays I think most of the products can be elaborated from China, so the materials are not good, and you need to replace it maybe in short, no, in the
All
medium term.
right. Very good. Very good. So yeah, we can say that it depends on the product. Sometimes
Yeah.
products are cheap and they are good. So we can think twice before buying a product.
Yeah,
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna repeat some words. Okay, we're
yeah.
gonna say it depends on. It depends on,
It depends on.
because this one is a verb. So it's like conjugating the verb in the third person. So it depends on. It's like saying my mother goes to work. So it's similar. It's a verb.
Okay, got it.
Then we have they can last longer. We can say that. They can last
It
longer.
can last longer.
And then we say manufactured. Manufactured.
Manufacturer. Okay.
There you go.
Thank
Okay,
you, teacher.
great. Welcome. Tatiana, next question. Let's see. We have, do you think
Um,
vegetarianism is healthier than eating meat? What do you think?
well, I'm never be a vegetarian person, but I have a cousin that she is,
Okay.
and I can say that
Uh-huh.
probably it help with your up- upper upper digestive. I don't know how to say that,
Oh,
but
digestive
digestive
system.
digestive system.
Exactly.
Correct. So, but for example, my cousin is often sick, so probably she has like a lower defenses than
Oh,
a person that eat meat.
okay. All right. So would you say she needs a little bit more meat in her life?
I mean, you know, the meat
Protein. Let's call it protein.
contribute with protein and other things that we need in our body. So if she don't like consume those um proteins, then
Mhm.
she probably will have other uh
Mm.
I don't know other things that make her thick. So probably I think yes is healthier, but it can mess with your defenses
So you
also.
have to be careful
Yes.
with that
If you
consumption.
don't eat meat, you need to search for other vegetarian protein
Okay, so we can say
to
vegetarian
it's to
fruit.
learn. Yes,
All right, very good.
that can replace the meat.
Okay, of course. Okay, let's see. Let's repeat. If she doesn't like consuming those proteins,
if she doesn't like consuming those proteins.
Very good. All right. Great job, people. Very good. Very good. One question more for Ricardo. Is it better to be poor and happy or to be rich and unhappy?
It's better to be poor and happy or to be rich and unhappy. Yeah, I read it. I prefer to be poor and happy.
Why?
But like, poor like a homeless guy or poor like,
How poor are we talking about?
I don't know. Yeah,
Imagine
let's
the
say
most
like
extreme situation.
the
Poor, poor,
most,
poor, poor.
rich and happy in Maldivas.
Extreme, yeah, extremely
Yeah.
poor.
I will, well, no, in that case, I rather to be rich and unhappy.
Right. Yeah, it's a tricky question. I have heard of a lot of jokes about being sad and crying in a very expensive car.
Yeah.
So it's similar to that. All right. All right. Thank you for helping me with this comparative and superlative review. All right. And we're going to close tonight's session with some phrases on how to end your presentation. As you know, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we're sparing the class time to pay attention to those things that you are interested, excited, passionate about. You're gonna get some time to talk about something that you like. And if you haven't thought about how to end your presentations, we can get some of these phrases and we can apply them. So we have, okay, when you want to end your presentation, you have to summarize. You see, you have to make a quick recap of the points you have covered to help people remember what you talked about. So the first phrase we can use is, Wendy, can you help us?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of presentation. I'd like to summarize by saying,
Very good. Okay, so we're gonna say that brings us, repeat with, brings us.
brings us.
There you go. Okay, and you say, I'd like to summarize by saying, and then you recap. Okay, you can make the first statement that you made at the beginning of your presentation. Okay, we have talked about how to start our presentations with impact. We can use quotations. We can talk about stories. So we can somehow relate what we said previously to the end, you see? So repeating your initial phrase would be fine, or just listing the topics that you covered during your presentations. We have the second phrase here. Tatiana, can you help us?
That concludes my presentation. However, I would like to quickly summarize the main points.
Okay, and then you say, okay, so during this presentation, we have talked about this, and that. And why all this was very important. We have expression number 3 here. Ricardo, help us read.
To quickly recap, I would like to remember these key points.
Okay, and then you mention them again. You can use either or any that works fine for you. We can say, you see, we have a short one here, and we can just say, Wendy, can you help us?
Yeah, it's the number 3, right? To quickly recap,
The one right after it.
to summarize.
Exactly. Okay. So yes, to summarize, okay. The importance of this and this and that, or the impact of this and this and that. You see, you can quickly remind your audience why they are there. And this is the most famous one. What do we say, Tatiana, right here? We can say,
To
it's the last one, the very last one.
In conclusion,
Okay. In conclusion, don't, you can make a recommendation. In conclusion, let's keep in mind, a
Teacher,
conclusion.
just a
Sorry.
quick question. When somebody says as a conclusion is
Oh,
something wrong?
no,
Or-
it's okay. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, as a conclusion. Yeah, you can also say that.
Thank you.
No problem. Ricardo, here we go.
I would like to bring this presentation to a class with
All right. With this one, you can say a quotation as well. You can repeat the quotation or the quotes that you used in the beginning of your presentation, or you can say a saying. You can also give statistics in the case that you are talking about the impact that something has in society, for example. So this one is to leave your audience thinking. You see, you could also use as a rhetorical question in order to leave your audience thinking, like digesting everything you said and why it was so important for you to speak about the topic or for your audience. And then we can
here,
also
sorry,
yeah.
I have a question
Mhm.
related to the rhetorical
Oh, sure.
question. So
Mhm.
can we use those like at like for example the beginning, in the
Mhm.
middle, at the end, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, no
We don't
problem.
have like
Mhm.
like for example we can just use in the middle of the presentation, something like that. We can
Yeah,
use
no, there's no specific rule for that one. You can use it
okay,
whatever you want.
cool. Thank you.
Mhm. So, for example, you say, I'd like to bring this presentation to a close with the question, are we doing enough? For example, you see, people are not going to answer that, but they are going to question themselves with that question. It's just a very simple example. But yes, Tatiana, you can use rhetorical questions uh, to keep your audience engaged at first, in the middle, and in the end of your presentation as well. And then, Wendy, can you help us with the last one?
Yeah, I'd like to close this talk with
Okay. And once again, you can use a saying, a quote, okay, your very own opinion, like concluding. So the point is to leave your audience thinking if you want them to become aware of something. Now, I'm going to send you these phrases to the chat.
yes, teacher, please,
Sure.
because I think we are not able to
Yeah, no problem.
to go to the platform anymore, right?
Oh, really? Did it close?
Yeah, and I remember that the platform offers some good vocabularies, but as I was running doing the exercises, I couldn't take notes about every.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. I also have some phrases to thank your audience in the case you want to say thank you for your time. Okay, so if you want to vary that phrase, then I'm also sharing it with you. Do you see the two pictures? Can you see them?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, very good. So take a quick look at them and use the one that you feel comfortable with, if you'd like. All right. So do you have any questions for me before we end this class tonight?
Yes, I have one more.
Tell me.
About the day that we mentioned related with the
Oh,
certificate.
yes, exactly. So you didn't get any follow-up after telling me, right?
No, I just
Nobody got in touch with you.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let me ask again because I did ask for that to be changed. I'm going to send a message right after this class and I'm going to get back to you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to ask my coordinator to give you an answer on whether they're changing that or if it was a problem from the platform, or just to let us know what happened and why you're getting different dates.
I got the same, I guess, teacher,
Yeah.
the 31st of May, right? I
Yeah,
didn't notice before.
I have no
Mhm.
idea why it says like May, because we didn't even start in May. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going to ask again.
good, perfect, thank you.
All right. So,
Teacher, so
oh yeah.
tomorrow we will
Uh-huh.
start, sorry for interrupting
Oh
you.
no, that's fine. Tell me.
Just wanted to double check, tomorrow we will start with the presentations, right?
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay. Mhm.
Exactly. So yes, remember you will have 10 minutes to talk about your topic. You can take less if you want. Um, and you're talking about something that you like. So there's no need to be nervous or to feel anxious, because it's a topic that you know very well or that you really like. Okay. So if you have no more questions, then I guess I will see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you
All
very much.
right.
Awesome.
Bye bye,
Good
guys.
evening.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Good night.
Bye.